now begin with the inaugural ceremony. And now I invite our dignitaries for today's function to the dais. Our beloved director and the chief guest of today's event, Dr. Rakesh Agarwal, Medical Superintendent, Dr. Ashok Chandra Pade, Dr. D.K. Subramaniam, Professor and Head, Department of Medicine and Division of Geriatric Medicine, JIPMER. May I request Dr. Sunil K. Narayan, Senior Professor, and Dr. Vaibhav Godlekar, Head of the Department, to kindly escort the dignitaries and occupy the dais around.
As a part of our tradition, we at Jitman start every auspicious event with the invocation of Lord Dhanvantari.
धन्वन्तरी स भगवानमृतत्वदाता यो वैद्यकस्य गुरुरादिरनादिकालात् यो हार्तदेगमन आत्मसुखावहस्य नैरोग्यतस्य निदरां च नृणां हितस्य तस्यारणास्पदमहर्षिवरस्य शिष्य ये त्रेवयं प्रमुदिताननुभाग्यवन्तः देन प्रतीबितचरं सुचिरात् शुभायुः वेदस्य दीपामिह तत्पुरदोतरामः येन प्रभां वयमिहस्य विदद्य दिक्षु ज्योत्स्नां रुजातिशमनी प्रभवेम दातुं व्यादिव्यकात हृदयाय इमानवाय देयं द्वितम्बुविकलापि च न किलैषः देयं द्वितम्बुविकलापि च न किलैषः देयं द्वितम्बुविकलापि च न किलैषः.
I now request Dr. Vaibhav Godlekar, Head of the Department Neurology, to deliver the welcome address.
A very good morning to all. It's an honor to be standing here on this dais on the behalf of Department of Neurology and to give this welcome address. We have all assembled here on the occasion of the World Stroke Day. As well known to us, all of us, stroke is a devastating emergency that affects many. It is equally important to remember that these patients are also left with severe deficits which need a long-term rehabilitative measures. The day ahead will underline this fact as we hear today's talk and inaugurate the India Regulatory Balance System. With this, I first welcome our beloved director, Dr. Agarwal sir. He is an avid researcher and a great administrator. On the top of this, he is a remarkable teacher and statistician. In fact, one of his enhanced workshops which he conducted in Sanjay Gandhi rekindled my interest in mathematics and changed the way I look towards the research. I thank him for that excellent experience in the teaching, one of my best in my career. Thank you, sir. I welcome you, sir. A good administrator is one who is approachable and facilitates the growth of institute. We are lucky to have Dr. Ashok Pade sir with us, under whom the Jipmer has seen great growth. I welcome you, sir. We are honored to have Dr. Ravindra sir doing research who has come here and grace this occasion. We welcome you, sir. We welcome Dr. D.K. Subramaniam sir in the Department of the Medicine. And your department has played a pivotal role in the management of present COVID pandemic. Without it, that is impossible. It has all single-handedly coordinated and led to a war against this crisis. It has helped in the war against this crisis. We thank you. With this, I welcome also, although he is not present, I welcome Dr. Ashok who will be speaking on the stroke and relative measures later in the day and enlighten us. I welcome Nursing Superintendent and her team here who has made this occasion. I see the faculty, Dr. Nagaran sir has come here and I thank you for coming, sir. I welcome all the faculty who will be joining us today. I welcome all the participants on this occasion. And I hope we will be doing a good work in the school. Thank you.
I invite Dr. Sunil K. Narayan, Professor Sinensky, and faculty in charge of comprehensive software program to give the introductory speech.
Very good morning to one and all. At the outset, let me express my most sincere gratitude to our beloved Director, Medical Superintendent, Dean Research, and also the Professor of head of the department, to the Department of Medicine, also in charge of geriatric medicine, also D.K. Subramanian, the medicine superintendent, and also the other supporting departments, which are very important in providing a very good stroke care service in any institution. We have had the support of the Department of Discrimination and Rehabilitation, departments of ENT to the speech therapy, the diabetic sections, and also the psychiatry department. We providing the medical social worker, medical social service department to provide all that support. So thank you all at the outset. Radio Guidance, Marriage, thank you for coming over. The department support is, as you know, very vital. World Stroke Day was for the first time announced on the date of 29th of October in 2004 in Vancouver by Vladimir Kaczynski, who was based in Canada. Previously, we had a situation where stroke was mainly treated by physicians and often by cardiologists, and neurologists also were taking kind of a back foot in seriously treating stroke. So what helped was the decade of the year in 1990 to 2000, when due to the general momentum in the neurological services and academics and the interest in the brain all over the world, we also, a lot of young neurologists also found that it's not just treating the blood vessels, but taking care of the brain after that any damage is suffered, or protecting the brain plays a very important role in the treatment of stroke. So this led to a lot of enthusiasm and focus in treating stroke, and we had two major breakthroughs in the 1990s with the 1996 the thrombolytic therapy in acute ischemic stroke coming up successfully through clinical trials, and also the endarterectomy and carotid stenting becoming established as a treatment in secondary stroke prevention. Though there was a lot of problems from in 2004, Kaczynski, because of his close association with the American president, for whom he was a chief neurologist, found out that even the administrators have to be evaluated so that they take care of the nation very well. And he had a, using that association, that closeness with the president, he could do a great deal of advocacy and push the support and the focus on stroke diseases and the need to prevent it. A lot of neurologists and neurologists then started taking up stroke as a special career in their lives. There was a lot of problem initially. People thought that because the brain cells are permanent, we can't do much for stroke. But then we also realized that brain has this remarkable plasticity, and by various stimulation, either endogenous or exogenous, the brain can quickly learn to reinvent itself to provide a good functional outputs even after it sustains injuries. So the rehabilitation also started taking a major lead, and various, apart from traditional physiotherapy, various neuromodulating techniques, therapies like stem cell therapy, all started getting into active research, and they've shown very degrees of success. But we need to have these protocols better delineated and better defined. And so this is one of the major challenges for neurologists now. So the best outcomes can be produced using these various techniques. The World Stroke Day in 2020, its theme is join the movement. We need a collective strategy to improve the stroke care, which is far from ideal at the moment. There was a time until in the 1990s also, a major part of the public, even in developed countries, thought that stroke is a disease of the heart, it's some kind of a heart attack. And people did not know how to recognize stroke and to go to a stroke care services. And now with effective treatment available, effective preventive strategies available, we need to take the message to the periphery that every citizen recognizes earliest symptoms of stroke so that immediately he can seek help and he can be directed to a stroke ready center. So stroke ready centers are developing as a part of this advocacy and campaign all over the world. At the district level, there is the plan of Government of India also. And we have had excellent deliberations in the ministry also last year. In 2019, the DGHS brought out these Indian guidelines with aim to provide CT scans at every district hospitals, early diagnosis, and in fact provide basic stroke care, including thrombolysis at the district hospital levels itself. So, and it's also important that once somebody has had a stroke, we have to do the best of rehabilitation support for them. For this, various neuro rehabilitation devices have been available and it's very happy that in this at this point of time, due also to the support of our administration, mainly due to the support of the administration and also the support of the our industry colleagues, people installed the equipment well before 1 week before the World Stroke Day, and we'll be happy to demonstrate these items to any of you interested to come in small numbers in the neurobionics laboratory. These equipments even have been studied and have been found to be useful. The first equipment, the treadmill with weight suspension, can be helpful in people who have already started being on their legs to improve their gait faster and to get back to work faster. The balance system is useful in all sort of balance disorders, cerebellar, peripheral neuropathies, and here also we have shown definite improvement in this, but it is very clear the Cochrane reviews for both these equipments have shown that better techniques, better fine-tuning of all the parameters have to be researched to find out how best these can be utilized for the best outcomes. So we will be not only providing the service but also working into these areas. In neurology department, we actually started we got into stroke unit in 2000 and 2009. We did the first thrombolysis in 2009. We started getting different neuro rehabilitation and neurobionic equipment in the subsequent years. There are robotics therapy. There is also neuromodulatory techniques like TDCS and TMS, that is brain stimulation with the direct current stimulation and transcranial magnetic stimulation. So we are actually one of the best equipped centers as far as the neurorehabilitatory care within the neurological service system compared to any other part of any other institution in the country. So we have to best exploit these facilities. Best we have to provide maximum service to people and have to work towards refining these so that we come out with the better techniques than what is available in the world now. Our MS in neurotechnology and PhD programs are helping towards this, and with the help of the administration and the enthusiastic faculty and the support of the other departments, we certainly be able to improve these techniques with best output from our institution. There is only one area where we have still lagging behind a bit, that is providing mechanical thrombectomy. This is part of the standard stroke there, and I understand that we are soon going to have a biplane DSA also, after which we should be able to provide mechanical thrombectomy also for patients. Now the window time is increased up to 24 hours, so certainly our patients deserve this, and this will be will be commissioned, will be purchased and commissioned. Purchase procedure is already, the process will be completed very soon, I believe. I want to thank the administration in providing all the support in also in starting course like stroke postdoctoral fellowship this year, and with the equipments and the courses and some of the external research grants, and also support from our own internal grants. We are actually in a very good position now to provide good quality services as well as research. It's our duty and responsibility, and we have to rise to the occasion, provide the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for inviting us with the advances in the development, the stroke management and care. I now request our esteemed medical superintendent, Dr. Ashok Shankar Bade, sir, to felicitate the function.
Good morning to respected director, Dr. Rakesh Agarwal, Professor Subramanian, my colleague, medicine professor in the department, Dr. Sunil Raman, professor of neurology, Dr. Vaibhav from the department of neurology, Dr. Ravindran, professor and head of pharmacology and dean research, Dr. Nagaraj, professor of radiodiagnosis, other faculties of neurology and other departments, CMO and other nursing staff who have come here, and the technicians and the residents and the other staff who come here in this function. First of all, let me thank the Department of Neurology for inviting me for this twin function. I am very, very happy to be involved in this twin function, because first is the function that is the observation of the World Stroke Day, which is very, very important. As already mentioned, World Stroke Day is being celebrated on 29th October every year. And the theme of the present year is very, very important. So I just would like to tell something about the present theme. The present theme is to increase the awareness of stroke. Mainly, the emphasis is on prevention, because 60 to 70% of the strokes can be prevented. So, main theme is of this year is join the movement to prevent the stroke, and there are various strategies that we have to utilize to prevent the stroke. It's not that after the stroke is occurred, the other services are not required. But you can just imagine if the full load comes to you, like all the 100% people have stroke, then we will be not be able to deliver any goods to the patient. And as you all are aware, that prevention is better and easier and simpler than cure. For curing or treating, we need all those gadgets which we are going to inaugurate today. Plus, the also involves a lot of dependence on the human resources. So human resources are very difficult now. So, and the recovery after stroke is not very simple, not easy. Some of the patients may not recover completely also. So maybe sometimes what happens is the only earning member of the family has a stroke and the whole family suffers because of that. So I think all our emphasis should be on prevention. So more focus should be on prevention, and there are various factors that are controllable. Of course, there are some factors which we cannot control, that is gender, age, is chronological age we may not be able to control, but physical age definitely we can control, and the family history. So these factors we cannot control, but there are other controllable factors which are there within the reach of every individual, need not be a neurologist or a physician. Every individual can think about this, and that is why the World Stroke Day it emphasizes this year's theme. That prevention all the time we are talking about prevention, and there are various methods with which we definitely will be able to prevent or delay this stroke. You must remember that now the for people who are sitting here, out of this, 1 out of 4 is having a high risk of developing a stroke sometime in the life. So to reduce that, what we have to do is we have to change our lifestyle. Changing lifestyle, it is very easy to say, but if you really want to do it, definitely it can be done. And the first and the most important thing is the physical activity. You must remember that every now and then what we do is, the moment we say exercise or physical activity, a lot of people are telling, okay, I don't have time to do physical exercise, it is not like that. But if you want to live a stroke-free life, physical activity is one of the most important things, and all of us must do that and must encourage the others who are around us, either our patients or our family members or our relatives or friends. We must encourage people to do physical activity in any form. It is not only one form of physical activity is important, but physical activity and consuming calories regularly, at least 5 times a week. You must do physical activity for 45 to 50 minutes every day. Like every 5 days, definitely we have to spend that time. Then only we will be able to prevent the stroke. Other factors that are also we can control is avoid smoking. Smoking is one of the most important causes of stroke. It also affects not only the brain but heart and other organs also. So you remember that avoid smoking. Luckily in our campus we have following most of the times we do like this is a non-smoking area. So when I joined here in 1983, it was not so. So I used to see a lot of people smoking in the campus. Some of them used to still smoke even in the changing room of the operation theaters. But now it has drastically come down. So one thing is there that definitely we can control is stop smoking. Another thing that also can be controlled is excessive alcohol intake. Lot of cultures they have in the parties like the alcohol they take, but excessive consumption of alcohol without a proper diet definitely increases the risk. So one must avoid all this. Then have healthy food. Like it is said that fish is better than the red meat. So definitely we can, I'm not against any veg or non-veg or fish eating or meat eating people, but it has been proved that fish eating reduces the chances of a stroke more as compared to eating red meat. Of course, the vegetarians that we are lucky, but there are some other factors in vegetarian people who are vegetarians that may also cause the stroke. Like lot of ghee, lot of oils. So that also has to be avoided. So this is one factor. Then other thing is the other diseases which are there, like obesity, diabetes, hypertension. You must keep in control. This will help us to reduce the incidence of stroke. So, and these are all controllable. It is not that we cannot control the diabetes. I have seen people with diabetes leading a very healthy life at the age of 80 also, doing all the activities. Similar is the case of hypertension. But obesity, definitely it is difficult to live beyond a certain age if you don't reduce the obesity. So all of us should make an effort to encourage people and to make aware. That is the purpose of this World Stroke Day. That you have to make everybody aware that these are controllable factors, and this we can reduce. This, if you follow, we can reduce the incidence of a stroke in all. So I hope the Department of Neurology will take a lead in this to spread the awareness by various means, like distributing pamphlets to their patients, by having some programs for the patients who come there and for the other faculties and the other residents, so that they can emphasize it, so that what we will have is the incidence of stroke will be coming down, and then definitely whatever resources we have, we will be able to utilize them better for the people who suffer stroke, unfortunately, and we will be able to rehabilitate them very well. Another thing I just want to tell now is what has come new in this world. I'm not talking about Corona only. One is digital addiction or digital intoxication. That is what the term is used as, digital intoxication. And this has become worse during this pandemic of Corona. You must remember that the more time you spend on the screen media, with the screen media, with whatever, either your cell phones or the computers or TV and all that, any excess time you are going to spend, that is going to increase the risk of a developing stroke. So you must remember, there are studies which have shown that every hour, beyond 2 hours, if you spend in front of the digital screen, your chances of increasing the stroke, risk of increasing the stroke is 20% per hour. So you can just imagine that every day if you are going to watch more than 20% or going to interact with the digital screen for more than 2 hours, you are going to increase. So we have to now devise methods how we can do that. Of course, in the present situation, we have to engage in the digital screen, but we have to keep in mind that we can still do exercise, maybe not continuously watching or getting ourselves engaged with the digital screen. We can do a lot of activities every half an hour, every 1 hour, you get up, move around, do, and maybe you can do more exercise so that you can avoid the problems of digital intoxication. This is very, very important that we must keep in mind. It has already been said that the digital screening time inversely affects the life expectancy. So that is what we have to keep in mind, and we have to spread this message. The main purpose of this observing the World Stroke Day is what? Not only treating the patients, but to spread the awareness that these are the factors which can cause or which are responsible or which, because of which you become a high risk to develop a stroke, and that are all preventable and that can be treated. Of course, the treatment part definitely is very important once the patient develops a stroke. So you have to see that as early as possible, the patient should reach the hospital and the treatment should start, say, something like golden time or golden period, that is less than 6 hours. Now they are telling that it has been reduced further also. So that definitely, so the Department of Neurology will have to take active lead in that. They cannot just like have a treadmill and the balance system so that they can treat this patient. But immediate action has to be taken, and I hope the Department of Neurology will rise to this occasion and help these people when they come. Of course, it will definitely need the support of the Administration, definitely the administration will support them in this endeavor, but they will have to put in more effort for both the methods. One is spreading the awareness and preventing stroke, and second is the treatment of the stroke at the earliest, and pursue the people to follow the post-operative, post-stroke rehabilitation program, because it is also very difficult to come every day to do the treadmill here. It may not be feasible for some people, but then some initial days you will have to do, they will have to come here and do it. Later on, maybe you can train them, they can have it at their nearby home or in the home nearby their staying place. So definitely the Department of Neurology has a lot of work to do in this. And I hope under the headship of Dr. Vaibhav and the other people in the department and the other nursing staff and the other staff, they will be able to raise to the occasion. And I am very happy that the Department of Neurology has got these two state-of-art equipments which will help them to take care of the patients post-stroke so that the patients develop a proper gait and they are able to do the exercise and recover at the earliest. With this, I again congratulate the Department of Neurology for getting this equipment. And I am also happy that they have brought up this program, that is observation of the World Stroke Day, so that we can focus on this aspect that World Stroke can be prevented in a maximum number of times. So these viewers, I thank all of you for giving me this time and listening to me very peaceful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. I hope you all are now better aware of the risk factors and the preventive strategies of the stroke, and we all will help with the spread of the awareness of the stroke causes and the preventive strategies. Thank you, sir, again for being the pillar of support to the Department of Neurology.
Department of Medicine and Division of Pediatric Medicine has been always the backbone and support system for the stroke treatment program. May I now request Dr. D.K. Subramaniam, Professor and Head Department of Medicine and Division of Pediatric Medicine, to address the function.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Director of RKC, respected President of the day, my dear colleagues and friends, Sunil and Vaibhav, and others who have here, assembly, nurses, very important in the day of stroke. I'm sure there are friends from rehabilitation services also. They are also equally important, if not more important. Because, as you already heard, it's the integrated care. A single person cannot serve everyone disease. What is very important actually, this team that connects, that will connect to the patient is compassion. Somehow, this emotion has really waned over time. We have become very mechanical. Partly because of the nature of the illness, but also because of other reasons. Now, I would like to share a few thoughts on stroke, the past, present, the future. A lot to say already about the advancements. Past and newer postgraduates and the junior consultants is a hopeless situation. Very impossible situation, to the extent that hardly had any drive to do something which is different and improve the condition. That is in the 1980s and the 90s. Today, there is hope. We have reached the stage of hope. Because our advancements in especially as fighters, thrombolytic therapy, mechanical thrombectomy, other rehabilitation. Yet, what is scope for us in the future for these patients? I think it's very bright. The day is not far off when we will be able to achieve near functional normality. a near normal function. I'm quite convinced that that will be possible. And why is that being possible? Because there are people who are thinking about the impossible, who challenge these boundaries. And that's why we have so much advancement. Significant brain machine interface. Advances in rehabilitation equipment. Neuroplasticity, proximal confidence. Fantastic concept. And I'm sure these will play a big role in the coming future to bring near normal function. Whoever thought that when the COVID-19 pandemic broke, that the test result, which was taking initially days, will be available in hours, and now in minutes. By the time this war is over, the report is in the hand. So these people who challenge this word impossible. This word impossible is very time-bound. It dies a natural death because of these people. Actually, these people don't see the word impossible as impossible. They see it as impossible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your support and explanation.
To mark this auspicious day, we will now proceed for the land typing ceremony. Now I request our director, Dr. Rakesh Agarwal, sir, to kindly inaugurate today's World Stroke Day function, dedicating the two newly commissioned mural reality equipments towards the service of the public by unveiling the inaugural plaque and the release of the version of protocols. Invite our Reserve Director, Dr. Rakesh Agarwal, sir, to deliver the inaugural address.
Colleagues on the dais, Professor Bade, Professor Subramaniam, Professor Sunil Narayan, Dr. Vaibhav, Professor Ravindran, Dr. Pradeep Nair, who I believe had to be away at a sudden notice for another important activity, Dr. Rajeshwari, other members of the Department of Neurology, and other members of the institute staff, including nurses, technicians, students, residents, and others. Also, Dr. Abhishek Srivastava, I don't know whether he's on the connected on the video conference already or not, and those who are joining us on the video conference. So, Professor Bade referred to the nature of this function as a twin function. There is another twin in the room, and that's the similarity of thoughts between Professor Bade and me. He's said exactly a lot of what I wanted to say. In my interpretation also, the theme of this year's World Stroke Day, join the movement, is not directed at us, the healthcare professionals, but it is directed at the society at large, the whole world's population, that they should join the movement. The care of a disease can be looked upon and is looked upon by public health professionals as a series of steps. And they don't look at it as treatment and prevention separately. They look at everything as prevention. Primary prevention, to prevent a disease from happening. Secondary prevention, if a disease does occur, to make it less severe. And third, tertiary prevention. After the disease has occurred, you have tried to make it less severe, but you have to live with it, to modify, to ameliorate the consequences, and making it less painful, more easy to live with the disease and its consequences after the disease has had its course. So we have two functions today. We have one to celebrate the World Stroke Day, and the second is to inaugurate these equipments. These equipments touch a very small part of our armamentarium against stroke, and that is after a person has had stroke, we have done thrombolytic therapy, whatever therapy we have done.
A lot of people would also have spontaneous recovery, and then in a limited few, we use this equipment to try to ameliorate the effect. So to me, that's a much less important function. But that happens to be the function that we super specialists, the same is true for gastroenterology, we believe much more in treating cirrhosis rather than trying to stop people from taking alcohol or having viral infection. The same happens in each specialty. But I don't think that's the main message. The main message of the day should be to prevent stroke. A lot of us, it was said earlier that, Dr. Sunil Narayan said that the heart specialists used to treat stroke because it was looked upon as a heart disease. Professor Bade referred to it. But there is a big difference between stroke and heart attack. The two diseases have very similar risk factors, have very similar etiopathogenesis in many regards. But there is one difference. If I have to choose between the two, I would rather have a heart attack rather than have a stroke. A heart attack kills, whereas a stroke cripples. And sometimes cripples you in such ways that you can't even imagine. You are fully functional, but you can't speak, you can't communicate, and that makes life miserable. So the best thing is prevention, as was emphasized earlier, and I would try to re-emphasize that by using 5 letters of the English alphabet: A, B, C, D, and E. And let me start with the last one. E stands for exercise. If we look around ourselves within our campus, the frequency of obesity and overweight is extremely high. That is in a country where we are thought that we are poor, we eat less, we have less availability of food. In the last 30-40 years, we have had a lot of prosperity. For those in the institute, salaries have gone up, and that has meant that there is a pandemic of overweight and obesity. That pandemic is killing many more people than the pandemic that we are talking about all the time today has killed. And we really, really need to do something about it. We need to encourage our staff members to exercise more. Unfortunately, for the size of our campus, the number of people who live in the campus, if you go out in the morning or in the evening, number of people who engage in physical activity, number of people who walk around is extremely small. And we really need to change this. Leave aside those of our age, even students, one finds that the physical activity has really come down, and Dr. Bade referred to addiction to devices, screen devices, and that is something that we really need to work on. D stands for 2 things. One is diet, and the other is diabetes control. Stroke has a very close relationship with diabetes, so we need to detect diabetes early, we need to control diabetes. Extremely easy. The best thing possibly is to have one's blood sugar tested after the age of 40 every 5 years or so. That's all that we need. And once detected, we need to get treatment. And a part of treatment has already been covered in what we refer to in E, exercise. If we maintain our body weight normal, and if we exercise, diabetes automatically comes under control, at least partially. C refers to cessation of smoking. B refers to blood pressure control. Again, the most important thing possibly for stroke control is, now that smoking has already reduced much, is to have one's blood pressure checked every 5 years, and if it is found to be high, to take drugs, to take other lifestyle measures and bring the blood pressure under control. And that will affect both thrombotic as well as hemorrhagic strokes, both will be reduced, and that's extremely important. And finally, A, possibly the least important of the 5 primary preventive measures, and that is anti-aggregative therapy. Taking antiplatelet agents such as aspirin or another one, or anticoagulants where they are indicated, And that is actually a much bigger role in people who have a basic underlying disease, which is putting them at the risk of stroke. So people who have atrial fibrillation or other such conditions. So to me, it is this E, D, C, and B, which are the mantra for dealing with stroke. And we, even though we are super specialists, we somehow think of patient who has come to us with stroke, not of a person who is at risk of stroke, but that is where we can derive the maximum dividend, and that's actually also the cheapest measure of dealing with stroke. By the time a person comes to you, yes, we can save some of them, but that treatment is extremely costly. The incremental cost effectiveness ratio, the amount of money spent for one quality adjusted life year that we give them after a person comes with stroke is much higher compared to what we need to spend if we do prevention. And the other part of prevention is, it's like a polyvalent vaccine. One vaccine that protects against multiple diseases. All these measures protect us not only against stroke, but heart attack, cancers, against fatty liver and cryptogenic cirrhosis, and many other diseases. And that's the best part of it. The only thing that is said is, but lifestyle change, there is one problem. It is difficult. It depends how you look at it. Each glass of water can be looked upon as it is half full, it is half empty. The way I look at lifestyle change is, it is not difficult. One knows of any number of people who lost weight, any number of people who have increased their activity, any number of people who have stopped smoking, any number of people who have got their blood pressure and diabetes. The unfortunate part that I find is, I had a colleague who stopped smoking. We have been telling him for years to stop, he did not, and one day he had a viral infarction and next day it was gone. If we can do it after an event occurs, why can't we do it earlier? It basically needs only one step, a resolution in one's brain. Of course, it needs people around to push you. That sometimes helps keep a resolution, and I think if we have to join the movement of what World Stroke Day 2020 asks us to do, it is to join the movement in ensuring that all these things happen for us, for our family members, our colleagues, our dear ones, those that we care about. And of course, that group for us includes our patients, and therefore we need to encourage each patient, not a patient who comes to us for stroke, but anybody who walks into our institution, to follow those simple steps. With that, let me congratulate again the department for their efforts to improve the facilities for stroke. And I have only one small message there. And that is in relation to window period. We will keep hearing different people saying window period is 6 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 24 hours. The only message I want to give in relation to that is that window period is not a fixed thing. And within the window period, different timings have different impact. You may say window period is 6 hours, but again, if you act within the first 2 hours, the effect is going to be more than it is going to be in the 6th hour. And it is not that in the 7th hour there is no effect. It's a continuum. Unfortunately, we in medicine try to dichotomize everything before and after, which it is not. So again, even though whatever the period of window period that might be mentioned in books, in journal articles, we really need to cut the time between the event and our intervention to as short as possible, disregarding the cutoffs that are mentioned. With that, once again, congratulations to the department for embarking on this journey of helping patients with stroke in different manners by doing interventions and through these physiotherapy steps that we are going to take with the two new equipment today. And I'm sure you would have reached a much better place in another 2 or 3 years than where we are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. I reckon we all should pledge to inculcate ABCD, what sir has told in our lifestyle. Thank you, sir, again for gracing the occasion.
I invite the postdoctoral fellow in stroke, Dr. Anis, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries, honored of the dais, guest faculty, dear teachers, colleagues and friends. I have been given the pleasant opportunity to express my vote of thanks. First and foremost, I express my earnest gratitude to our beloved director, who has always been a source of inspiration to both students and faculty alike. His wisdom and management skills has guided our institution through this difficult COVID times. Today, he has taken up his precious time to be with us and to grace the occasion. We thank you, sir. Dr. Ashar Bade, Medical Superintendent, has been a diligent and compassionate administrator that we have seen. He has played an equal role during this challenging COVID times as well as in the pre-COVID times. He has been a strong pillar of support for our department. We thank you, sir, and we thank you for your strong emphasis on the preventive aspects of stroke as well as the spreading awareness of this very important topic. We are also fortunate to have Dr. D.K. Subramanian, Head of the Department of Medicine, to grace the occasion. He has supported the stroke program from the beginning. We work with him very closely with the care of geriatric patients. We thank you, sir, for being here with us. In a few minutes, we will be joined by Dr. Abhishek Srivastava, today's guest speaker, who will be sharing from his immense knowledge regarding the rapidly evolving field of stroke rehabilitation. I also thank the Dean Academy, Dr. Pankaj Pindra, in his absence, who has always a great support for all our academic programs. Also thanks is expressed to Dr. Dean Research, Dr. Ravindran, for his support of all research activities of the stroke division. I also extend my heartiest gratitude to HOD Neurology, Dr. Vaibhav, for his full support. Thanking Dr. Sulnarayan support to us, but he began the stroke services and has arranged for today's program. We also express our sincere thanks to the Chief Nursing Officer, the Deputy Nursing Superintendent from SSB, as well as the nursing in charge of stroke ICU, and other hardworking, dedicated nursing staff who has always been with us in the support of stroke patients. We also thank the Department of Telemedicine, Dr. Professor Victoria, as well as Dr. Kalayasan and the technical team for overseeing today's audiovisual aspects. Also, I thank the head of the department and faculty of radiodiagnosis department as well as emergency medical services for their support, their lend to stroke services. I also thank the health technology team and the engineers from Hospital Medica who has installed the treadmill and balance equipment well in time for today's events. I also thank all the faculty and the residents of the neurology department for their cooperation. I may have missed a lot of people, but it's not intentional. I thank everyone for being with us today for this function. Thank you.
Thank you. I request you all kindly raise the national anthem.